Welcome to the Nexus of Adventure, where stories transcend the page, a place where heroes and villains clash. This is Break, Battle, and Roll. It's once again time to break, battle, and roll. Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for joining us. My name is Aaron Rollins. I am your Dungeon Master, your Barkeep, your Game Master, and here we are on episode 31, and I am joined first by the voice of Tierman's obituary writer, Chad Stafford.
Oh, how dare you! Jeez, that's so dark!
Oh, yuck, Aaron.
I love just pushing Chad off the cliff right at the beginning here.
When I was a young bird, my mentor led me through the city to hear the bards at play. He said, Tim, when you take flight, will you sing for all of the broken, those lost and led astray? 'Cause one day I'll leave you a phantom to lead you through the darkness to join the great serenade.
Yeah, that was amazing. I love that.
Sometimes I get the feeling he's watching over me. It's Timothy Biscuit.
Good choice.
That was a lovely obit.
We were also here with the player behind Nathaniel's co-host of the Fourth Wall Breaking skit, Janelle Wilke.
Hi there, this is Janelle Wilke, playing Flowerkraut, and I finally am able to sniff that dank Yaga in person.
Oh, Stanko Yaga.
Gonna pop a cold one of dank Yaga and pass it to Timothy.
Oh.
Enjoy.
Bottled in the Feywild.
It's warm, I'm sorry.
They don't have a whole lot of refrigeration out here. Last but not least, the man, the hero, and the guy who voices Remington's maze buddy, Ben Holland.
Give Three big Vorpal sword, kill monster. Hi, it's Ben.
Hi, Ben.
Hi.
All right, guys. I know we kind of left off on a little bit of a cliffhanger last time, so let's jump right into...
My fingers are getting very tired. Please, pick me up.
Just
A
remove
voice in the sky.
the pinky and the other pinky.
No!
Good thing I have Featherfall.
You Tweety Bird little shit! You stop that right now!
On our last break, battle, and roll, at long last, Timothy was reunited with his friend and mentor, Tierman Brastone. The happy moment was cut short, however, as the dire situation was unfolded to the adventurers. Tierman was dying from a curse so strong the Maiden of the Moon's healing power could only keep him on the precipice of death. He expressed that Aster would scry on Timothy and Flowerkraut pretty often, and that he could see them, that they were alive and well, and he knew that someday his little songbird would find his way to him. That thought alone was the only thing that kept him from giving up, knowing that he needed to be alive when Timothy found him. Tierman was sad, though, considering that the party had stepped into yet another of Aster's traps. The Formicarium Labyrinth, a magical maze where one may enter, but no one can leave. Tierman had listened to the Maiden of the Moon when the Jabberwock was nearby. He had heard her song. He asked Timothy for the lute and sung the Vorpal Lullaby, a song that would slake the beast's rage. The song also spoke of a Vorpal soul and sword, which reminded Nathaniel more about the legend in which a Vorpal blade was necessary to slay the creature. Flowerkraut tuned into Aster's scrying orb and caught a glimpse of Salix traversing somewhere on the island of Titan. Her pestilence had afflicted the nearby villagers, killing everyone. The vision showed her collecting souls and placing them into a vessel when suddenly she caught sight of the censor spying on her, and Flowerkraut cut the feed. Having seen what they would be up against in Archipelagia, Tierman knew that they needed the Maiden of the Moon. As he handed the lute back to Timothy, the last traces of the dwarf's essence fell into the instrument. He assured Timothy that he has always been with him through his song, and that he would forever be by his side in music. Tierman removed the Maiden of the Moon from the beam of moonlight that was shining down through the pumice stone and handed it over, his body turning to dust. Remington, meanwhile, had discovered the unfortunate truth. They were stuck within the Formicarium labyrinth, with a renewed intent to escape and set the Feywild right. Timothy strummed his lute, sending out echoes in all possible directions. The essence of Tierman Brassstone guided them. Soon the adventurers found another constant room, one with portal runes on the ground. Nathaniel stated they could not manipulate the maze's magic from this room, but that maybe the portal could be activated. Timothy and Flowerkraut reached out to Miriam through their motes and received a response. The code was deciphered, the portal opened, and the party escaped to Aster's black ash tree in the Enclave of Six. It was at that moment that Flowerkraut received a non-verbal message from Baba Yaga.
Be silent, they are listening. Now, my child, it is finally time.
And that is where we left off. Flowerkraut, what do you do?
All right. Immediately, Flowerkraut looks to each of the gang and puts a finger to her lips to signal them all to be quiet. And then she pulls out her tome and writes down, Baba Yaga says to be quiet. The sisters are listening.
Timothy nods. Is he able to write in your book?
Yeah, if Timothy gestures, Flowerkraut will pass it over to him.
He'll write, if needed, I can message.
Yeah, Flowerkraut nods.
Remington looks up at Thrigg and just gives him this look of, the whole situation is, I think, foreign to the two of them.
Yeah, well, so I'll look at whatever, I think I can read. I look over to the tome, and then I look back over at Remington, and I just big serious eyes nod, and I put my finger up to my lips. It's just like, shh, because if Flowerkraut told me to be quiet, Thrigg trusts that.
Flowerkraut's eyes twinkle.
And then I'll also shrug, like, I don't know, but quiet.
Remington nods at you, Flowerkraut.
Flowerkraut sets the book down in the middle in case anyone wants to say anything.
So I am going to turn and point to Nathaniel.
He is standing completely still.
And I am going to pick him up and kind of very silently strap him into the Nathaniel harness. And with my finger on his lips, like, you be quiet. Because I know he can't walk around without saying something.
You can see the stress in his face as you are latching him back onto your back.
Just sweating.
Flowerkraut holds her finger to his lips for way too long.
As I'm holding my finger up, I look at him and I give him or else, and I pull a maggot out of my pocket and I show it to him. Like, you be quiet. And I put a maggot back.
He doesn't move at all. There's, a light ahead of you guys. You guys are inside, or you guys have just come out of Aster's tree, and are kind of, able to see now the entirety of the Alcove of Six. For everyone except for Flowerkraut, this is a brand new sight for you. You've never seen, even in a vision, what this area looks like. Think of it, to paint this picture, think of half of a pizza, and that half is sliced into 6 slices. Where those 6 slices meet at the very peak of the slice, that is where the wicker dome that holds Baba Yaga is. But each of those slices is where one of the 6 trees, representing the different hags, stands. And beyond, basically the other half of the pizza is just a lake. It's just a water that rushes off and cascades down into a river. You guys are walking out of the Black Ash, which is basically like the 4th tree down the pizza, and are walking into this, wide area, very lush, very, this area here seems like the personification of the Feywild. And the trees behind you are enormous, just the biggest versions of each tree that could possibly exist. You've got like the weeping willow, the oak tree, the black ash, the evergreen. There's just these humongous trees behind you as you step forward, and you also see that at the base of each of these trees, there is also an entrance or like a doorway that allows someone to walk into those trees.
Timothy messages Flowerkraut with his the walkie-talkie situation, so she only hears it in her head and Timothy can only hear it in his, and he says,
Flowerkraut, is that who I think it is?
Are you referring to my patron?
Yes. This seems an awful lot like that place you described long ago from your vision.
Flowerkraut nods, and then she looks to the others in the group, and she points down to her journal and taps Baba Yaga where she wrote it. And then she draws a little doodle of the wicker cage, and she writes underneath it, trapped inside.
Remington nods at you, and he kind of peeks around to see if he can get a good vantage point on where Baba Yaga would be. You get a message from Baba Yaga. You get smell-o-vision.
Smell-o-vision, I smell her.
Come to me, child. Do not be afraid.
Okay. Flowerkraut looks to the others, and then she kind of like waves them over to follow her towards the wicker cage.
Is there somewhere on the way that, like, behind one of the trees that I could stash Nathaniel to where he could still see what was going on?
Oh, absolutely.
But he couldn't come with us? Yeah, I would like to do that.
Okay. You stash him basically like by a bush or something like that so he can...
Yeah,
okay.
So he can still see, because in case he can offer any type of help. And so, in case he doesn't know, so he doesn't get attacked either, but yeah.
Is there any way to convey to Baba Yaga, like, ask her, are we only being listened to versus seen? Or not until I can get up to her?
Yeah, I was going to say, how do you wish to communicate with her? I mean, from your past experience, the smell-o-vision is a one-way channel, and it's the only way she has to communicate with you. You did speak with her the very first time you were here in your vision, essentially, but that conversation was cut because the other sisters had heard you, had heard a conversation happening. So you know that as she's telling you to be silent, you're trying to prevent that from happening again.
Aaron, would you allow me to potentially extend a bit of how the message cantrip works and whether we can justify it as being Flowerkraut and I sharing a piece of the moat that Timothy could place his feathered hand upon Flowerkraut's shoulder and essentially become like a buffer, and she could use him as sort of like a message transmitter?
I'm fine with you you're basically casting the spell multiple times where you do it between you and Flowerkraut. You get what information she wants conveyed, and then you cast it at somebody else. That's fine. I will say, though, let's say that you go to cast at Baba Yaga, okay? The second you begin to formulate the spell, you realize that the wicker dome is an anti-magic field.
As soon as Timothy feels that, he'll do another message to Flowerkraut and just say,
I tried to reach her. I was trying to act as a buffer so that I could help you two communicate, but there's something blocking me.
That makes sense since she's been trapped in this dome for a while, it sounds like. I'm going to signal to everybody, still holding my finger to my lips, but I'm going to encourage us to keep going so that we can meet with her. And Flowerkraut will lead the way.
You lead everyone over there, minus Nathaniel, who's stashed, and you arrive in front of the wicker dome, the wicker prison, and there she is, standing there. The light is just cascading enough into her prison where you can see like part of her face. She's also kind of holding a finger up to her mouth and looking at all of you. And then she closes her eyes and she just kind of breathes out very forcefully. And you smell another message coming from her, Flowerkraut. She says,
We can seal their trees, but you will have to do it, Flowerkraut. Use this arcane seal,
And in your mind, you watch a spell seal form. She then says,
turn Baleris's earth to mud. Filter Salix's toxins with the earth, and melt Abiasa's frost.
Flowerkraut nods, and she looks out at each of the trees to get an idea of whose is whose. It seems like it'll have some context clues.
absolutely. You turn around and you have 6 trees before you. On the far left is a mangrove tree that you and you know, due to your connection with the hags over time and having been here and knowing pretty much how each of them or where they were positioned that one time you were brought here by Aster, you know which tree belongs to which one. On the far left, you see a mangrove tree, and that was Laminaria's. Next to it, as we move from left to right, you see a weeping willow, and that is Salix's tree. Next is a leafless black ash tree that you just came out of, and that is Aster's tree. Next to that, moving down, is a mighty oak tree, and that is Bellaris's tree. And then the next tree, there's 2 more trees. You see a very strong redwood tree, probably the biggest tree of all the trees here. That is Baba Yaga's tree. And the last tree is a snow-covered evergreen. And she had just said the name, Abiesa.
Flowerkraut is going to write to the others in the book and say, going to make arcane seal. BRB. And she starts by going to Abayesa's tree first.
All right. So you walk up to this snow-covered pine tree. Humongous. And literally, as you're walking into that slice of the pie of the Enclave of 6, you are literally walking on snow as you approach the tree. What are you going to do? Because, I mean, mind you, there's snow everywhere. What are you doing, and how is it going to relate to what Baba Yaga has instructed?
She wants me to melt the ice, right?
Yes. She said, melt Abiesa's frost.
And does that mean all of it?
You're not sure.
I am going to say that Thrigg is walking with Flowerkraut, being rather protective in this moment.
Well, in shape water, I can unfreeze ice, right? And then turn it into water.
Yes, you can.
So that's what she's going to do bit by bit. At least she's going to try.
Okay. The other part of Baba Yaga's instruction was the arcane seal. How do you want to integrate that into what you're doing?
Should I do an Arcana check to know what that means?
Sure.
I got a 17.
Okay. The seal. So as the seal forms in your mind, you are able to immediately recognize this as essentially an arcane lock, something that could imprison or barricade or stop. And as you have seen all of these trees with their doors that you walked out of Aster's tree, the intent behind this seal would be to seal this tree so that Abiesa could not travel through it.
Does the seal have a symbol that Baba Yaga put in my mind?
Yes.
Well, assuming that Flowerkraut has some sort of writing instrument, since she's been writing in the book, she's gonna go up to the door then.
Okay.
And she's gonna try to draw that symbol on the door.
Okay. The entire trunk of the tree where the door is covered in snow.
So that's where she will use shape water to remove the snow from the door.
Okay. You shape water, it melts, and you see that, the snow is immediately starting to try to fill in again. Like this is a magic tree.
Okay.
And what do you do now?
Flowerkraut then draws the symbol into the snow with her fingers.
Okay. Go ahead and give me another Arcana check.
Ooh, a 4.
So as you're trying to draw this, the snow just kind of like completely encases that area, and you are unable to finish the rune. So the snow completely fills in as you're trying to like write it, and you find that you have difficulty putting this rune, this arcane rune, this sigil, just through snow. So the snow is kind of like preventing you from doing this.
Can I help?
It worked for a few seconds. Yeah, you absolutely can help.
So what I'd like to do is pull a dagger from my pocket, because I've got a small dagger, and I use elemental cleaver.
Do you have to be raging to do that?
I can rage to do this, but yes, I do. I can go into a rage and light the dagger on fire.
The quietest rage you've ever seen.
Yep, it's the quiet rage.
The worst kind.
And I can trace over the symbol that I saw her draw in with this magical fire and kind of cut it in.
So as you grow, dagger lights on fire, you hold the fire out to where the snow had filled in. The snow melts immediately, and it is not filling in nearly as fast as it was before.
Flowerkraut gives an excited glance at Thrigg and thumbs up.
You, however, Thrigg, would not know the complete sigil yourself, because this sigil's like in Flowerkraut's head.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll grab Flowerkraut's hand and have her put it over my wrist, and you can just guide me to cut it in.
Oh, I love that. All right, Flowerkraut guides Thrigg's wrist and slowly carves in the sigil into the door.
The sigil at completion glows purple, and you watch as the magic bursts forward and shoots down the trunk of the tree and seals off the door. You see basically a purple force field appear where the door is.
Flowerkraut just like kind of punches Thrigg in the arm and is like nodding happily.
Thrigg blushes, but it looks like lightning, so it's still pretty tough. And then he grows back down to normal size.
All right. What do you guys do next?
Okay, so there's water all around, right?
Yeah, there's water in the lake beyond on the other side of the whole enclave.
And the melted snow, does that just go away, or is it not melted anymore?
The area around that sigil is not snow anymore. That the magic that's just pulsating on Abies's tree is keeping the snow away.
Because it's like, I'd like to use her snow to make water, but if not, then sure, I'll go to the lake.
Okay.
Grabbing some water from the lake, doing a little water bending, bringing it over to Bellaris's tree to make some mud.
So you approach the great oak tree, and as you get closer to it with your floating ball of water, being water bended around you, you notice that the trunk of this great oak tree is encased in a very, durable earth.
Can I throw the water onto the earth?
You splash it onto the earth. You see that it definitely gets absorbed, and it starts to become a little muddy, but it feels like you need a lot more water than this.
Okay. Is Abies's tree close to Bellaris's tree?
There's one tree in between, and that is Baba Yaga's redwood tree.
Okay. And then the lake is further away, so it's like it'd be closer to get snow from Abies's tree.
You definitely could do it that way. Yeah, it'd be closer.
So Flowerkraut is going to be just lifting just giant bundles of snow, just going back and forth and piling the snow in front of the tree.
I think Timothy would see this and message like,
Flowerkraut, what's going on? Do you need help?
Sure, I'm trying to make mud out of this dirt tree. It's a little tough.
Thrigg just follows suit, and just takes huge handfuls of snow.
Yeah, I guess we'll all just pitch in.
Oh, Remington runs over and starts gathering up what snow he can.
Thank you.
Sees what you guys are doing. He just follows suit. So pretty soon, a couple minutes will go by. You guys have a big pile of snow right next to Belarus's tree.
Flowerkraut then takes as much snow as possible and converts it into water and presses it into the tree. And she just repeats that until she feels that the mud is going to stay mud so that she can draw the symbol.
So as you do this, the more and more mud is created, and as you are applying more and more water, you finally reach the actual trunk of the tree beyond the layers of earth that are encompassing it.
Thrigg hands you his dagger so you can carve it in again, just because that worked last time.
Flowerkraut nods and carves in the symbol.
The rune opens up, purple energy, boom, tree is encased, and there is a purple force field in front of the door on Belarus's oak tree.
And then the next one is Salix. So Flowerkraut, seeing that she has all of the team with her, she demonstrates what she wants to do. So she uses a bit of thaumaturgy to kind of like create a gust of wind to try and clear away. How would you describe, like, I don't know, like a miasma or whatever is surrounding it?
So as you walk, as you inch closer to the weeping willow tree, there is a definite scent, a pungent scent coming from this tree. And you see that there is some kind of green liquid dripping from the weeping willows, as well as a stream of whatever this is running down the central trunk.
Only one of us had purify food and water.
Flowerkraut thinks to Timothy, "We've got to clear this away. Any ideas?"
Timothy looks up to see the dripping from the canopy and messages to Flowerkraut.
I think first things first, we need to stop that from hitting the ground any further.
And I think he would take time to message exactly what Flowerkraut's attempting to do, and he'll just like ping it to every person so we don't have to walk back to the book to write it out. So he'll just send the message that we're trying to separate or at least block out the poison.
Okay.
Did you said there was a stream of the green stuff running down the front of the tree?
Yeah, so there's this green stuff dripping from all of the branches that, fall around the outer perimeter. Mm-hmm. But then the central trunk, it's like there is just a constant stream of this green liquid dripping down the trunk. It's like if you were to walk up and touch the trunk anywhere, you would get the stuff on you.
Can I walk up and put Tuffet's bag of holding underneath it open?
Yeah, you could do that. I would need a sleight of hand check to make sure that it doesn't get on you.
So I open the bag.
Timothy could help guide you and give you the help action with his sleight of hand as well.
I was going to say, I hand the bag to Timothy.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
I'm not nimble. You are.
Timothy gulps.
Anyone who is approaching the trunk needs to roll a dexterity saving throw.
I am not going to approach the trunk then, because that is... I mean, I get advantage on him, but there's not... Thrigg would know better than that's not... He's too big.
Oh yeah, if we're worried about the drip drops, Flowerkraut can cast Mage Hand to do a little, like, umbrella action over Timothy.
That's a 15 for Timothy.
Timothy, I'll just go ahead with you. At 15, you're able to just kind of jump back and forth, dance around, and you don't get any of the drips on you. You're looking up, you're making sure that nothing's going to fall on you, and you get to the trunk of the tree, where you see the door, and you see this green liquid that's just streaming down the trunk, which then seemingly gets like reabsorbed into the ground when it gets to the bottom.
Could he do like a nature check to see if this is like a repeating cycle? It's dropping from, flowing back, almost like a waterfall situation. It just keeps going back to the source.
No roll needed. That's kind of what it seems like.
Okay.
It seems like the roots are reabsorbing the stuff.
Is the stream only coming from one source, or is it from multiple areas from the tree, the canopy?
You can't tell. As you look up, your vision gets kind of blocked by all of the branches of this tree.
Can Flowerkraut if this is water, she's going to try basically doing a parting stream kind of action with her shape water and see if it works on this stuff.
Are you walking up to the tree with Timothy then? Because I think you'd have to be close enough for the range of that spell.
Yeah, I'll do it. Dex save?
Yes, a dex save. Well, you said you were going to use the mage hand as like an umbrella, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you can do that. You do that, and anything that drips down on you just falls off of your mage hand. Yep.
That's awesome.
Cool.
So good.
As you get to the tree, you attempt to shape water, and you can't seem to shape this liquid.
Flowerkraut looks at Timothy and mind messages, "It's not water."
Let me try something.
Chad doesn't know if this is going to work, and Timothy doesn't know if this is going to work, but he's going to try because in his mind he thinks maybe this is some sort of necrotic element, and what's the one thing he can do to fight against necrotic energy? He can create radiant energy, so he's going to form a starry wisp in his hand and kind of place it close to the stream to see if there's any sort of reaction to radiant energy being next to it.
Doesn't seem to have any reaction.
Okay. Then he closes his hand to dissipate the starry wisp, and he's going to see if he can go the Thrig maneuver and see if he can use the bag as a portal for this liquid to just seep into.
All right. Give me a sleight of hand check.
Sure thing. That's awesome. That's a 21.
So you go over to test this idea out by basically just holding the bag open and letting the stuff run in. It works, but you're not tall enough to be doing this above the door, where Flowerkraut has etched the rest of the sigils in. So as you test it out, you can see that this stuff's falling into the bag of holding, and below your bag of holding, there's not really a whole lot, if any, of this green stuff making its way below the bag, I should say.
Timothy looks to Flowerkraut and messages,
I have to get higher up.
Thrig is frantically waving his hands at you, and he's pointing towards the mage hand.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yep.
Place the bag on the mage hand. That's great.
Yep.
That's a great idea. He messages Thrig.
Thrig, I can't help but notice that you are vibrating.
You put it in the hand.
Put the bag in the hand?
Yeah, have the hand lift the bag.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you, Thrig.
And he follows through.
Okay.
And messages to Flowerkraut the same instruction.
Flowerkraut has the hand grab the bag and pull it up above the door.
You bring it up there. The one limitation, though, now you've got is that mage hand is just a single hand. So the hand can't really open the bag all the way up and capture as much as possible. So even though the hand does bring the bag up to above the door, it's still letting a lot of this stuff pass it.
At this point, Timothy could probably more easily traverse this tree now that he doesn't have to worry about bringing the bag with him. He just has to get to the bag and help it open.
How would you like to climb this tree without getting any of this stuff on you?
Oh, is it all of it? All of it's just...
It's everywhere. Yeah.
I think I just got to come in.
I don't think... am I able to do thaumaturgy at the same time as the mage hand, or do I have to drop the mage hand in order to do thaumaturgy?
I believe the mage hand is not... I mean, it lasts for a while, doesn't it?
It lasts for 1 minute.
Yeah, so you can cast mage hand, commanded to do something, and then cast thaumaturgy. Yeah, you could do that.
Thrig is violently waving his hands again.
Flowerkraut looks pointedly at Thrig, and she tests something where she uses thaumaturgy to create a gust of wind that pushes the branches out of the way in the hopes that Thrig can kind of run to us.
Okay. Thrig, go ahead and give me a dexterity saving throw.
Yeah, I knew that was...
This, and literally, this is...
Sprayed it everywhere.
This is, it's getting sprayed everywhere, but roll it with advantage.
Well, I already roll with dex at advantage. I rolled 19 on the dice, it's 21.
Okay.
I'll do my advantage just and see if I crit it. No, that was an 8.
So you get over to them without any issue.
Am I tall enough to hold the bag up?
Yes, you have been the instrument of height in the last 2 trees.
Oh my gosh, it's the opposite of my real life. I open the bag and I hold it up in the right spot.
Okay. You roll a sleight of hand check then.
I'm going to do this because Timothy already rolled it. I'm going to lift Timothy up.
Okay, you lift Timothy up.
Whoa.
That's adorable.
And since you had tested this out before, Timothy, no roll necessary. You open up the bag, and you're able to capture enough of this stuff so that there is now a bare spot of the trunk above the door.
Can Flowerkraut reach that spot and then carve another rune into the tree trunk?
You can climb up Thrig like you have before.
All right. What do I need to roll for that?
You don't need. Well, I mean, you were using him anyway.
You get in a Nathaniel bag.
Yeah, I mean, he puts his hand down on the ground like an elevator and just, like, brings you up.
Oh, yeah, if Timothy's on his shoulders, then Thrig can just pick me up.
You carve the sigil into the tree and the same thing. Boom. Purple energy, force field around the trunk. Door is now barred by purple sealing energy. You get a whiff of Baba Yaga. She says, "You can speak freely now."
Oh, good job, team. We can talk now.
Oh, thank goodness.
Meet Thrig.
We made an awesome totem pole.
Thrig has gone so long without saying me, Thrig.
Is the tree still dripping?
It is still dripping.
Like the branches?
Mm-hmm.
So it's sauerkraut, and it's like, use the hand over us one by one to get out.
Okay. You hold me close.
Hold me close, tiny flower.
Oh, I want a fan art moment.
Everyone's squeezed together in the hand above Thrig's head. That's great.
Yeah.
You guys are able to get back to Baba Yaga without worrying about the dripping tree.
This is a very dangerous bag now.
Oh, we can talk now? Oh, good. God damn, what the hell is even happening?
Yeah. Should we get Nathaniel?
Hey, Nate! Nate! You can come over here now.
Stand up and walk to the rest of them.
All right, so I don't mean to pry, but what exactly is going on here? And where the hell are we? And who's that lady? And what are these big ass? Are we in the? Oh God, are we in the Feydark? Is this it?
I don't know what this place is called, but this is where all the Hag sisters. This is their base, and we're kind of on a rescue mission for my patron Baba Yaga. She has been helping us.
All right. Can't say I calculated this as part of the whole plan to... Okay, all right, well, let's get her out of here and get this Maiden of the Moon back to Brokenstone Vale, and do all the things, because, time is short.
She knows the Hag sisters better than anyone. She'll be able to help us.
Well, that's good. I don't mean any disrespect, okay? But these hags that you guys keep talking about, who seem terrible, terrible people, that's kind of low on my priority list. I feel like it's the Jabberwocks thing we got to worry about, and we're here, and I don't even know if the cavalcade's going to be able to figure out that we're here. They're probably back at the Pumice Stone Mountains wondering where the hell we went. So whatever we're going to do right here, we need to do it quick. You guys all hear Baba Yaga behind you say, My dear, come over here. We have much to discuss.
All right, yeah, Flowercrap books it over to Baba Yaga.
Very good, very good. That was a very interesting way to handle the whole arcane seal, but hey, it worked.
How would you handle it? It's pretty good, right? We did a great job, huh?
I would have handled it the exact same way.
Ah, yeah. You guys, this is my Baba Yaga, my mama Baba Yaga, if you will. Mama Yaga. Oh, she's not my mom. She's just my patron. Flowercrowd looks awkward.
It's a pleasure to meet you. Flowercrowd has told us much.
And I have sensed much about you, Timothy. And I am sorry to hear that Sherman is not with you anymore.
He's still here, just... he's stuck.
There's little time for formalities. We must get me out before the sigils fail. They will not last forever. Flowercrout, it is up to you to set this up. A spell to break the magic empowering this prison is no simple task. You must first sacrifice something to it. Do you have the mortar and pestle?
Yeah, I got it. She pulls it out of her pouch.
Unfortunately, I am unable to give exact directions on how this concoction must be formulated. It is built into the way the spell works. As the prisoner, I cannot give you what the spell desires. You must do this yourself. The only thing I can tell you is that you must sacrifice something dear to you, and you must apply it at the base of this wicker dome, and then chant the spell's words, Meithabher Shunfenheil, which you recognize as Sylvan for I give to receive.
Okay.
Take your time, but don't take too much time. I believe in you, Flowercrout. I always have.
Thank you. And Flowercrout looks down for a long while, looks at each of her friends, and she reaches into her bag where she's been carrying totems ever since the beginning of her journey. It's the only thing she's brought from the island, and they might seem innocuous to the rest of the group, but each of them has a little piece of her former party that she's been holding on to.
Flowercrout,
Flowercrout smiles at Timothy.
are you gonna be okay?
Yeah, Tierman taught me something important today. It's that even if those we love are gone, they're still with us in our actions and everything we do. Flowercrout takes the totems and drops each one into the mortar and begins grinding them down with the pestle.
Flowercrout, as you're doing this, you think back to the nightmare you were having in Astor's cave, in Astor's maze, where the hags were looking at you through a mirror, and how they showed you Adristia, and how you were given the opportunity to have your old life back, but you pushed them away. You pushed everything away. You think that the power that they were offering could have given you maybe more. Maybe you could have had your friends back, maybe your history, maybe your old life. But as you do this, as you crush these totems into the mortar, you truly feel for the first time that you can no longer live in the past. That you need to take a step forward, and that you're no longer doing this to get back to that life. You're doing this because the future holds something new for you. And even though you hold on to the memories of your old party, you feel like you don't need these anymore to remind you of them. And as they become dust, you look down at the mortar, you think about it for a moment, you look up at the wicker dome that's encompassing Baba Yaga, and it feels like there's something missing to your concoction. You need to add more to this thing.
Flowercrout, can she do an insight check to kind of get a feeling of, apart from what's missing, is it a piece of me?
Go ahead and roll insight.
16, 21.
It doesn't feel like what's missing from this is a part of you or any further sacrifice, because you're already feeling like this has kind of shaken you a bit. To destroy something that you've been holding on to that were so valuable to you. It feels like you need components that turns this truly into a spell to add to this mixture. And this goes back to the way that you have made potions in the past, the way that you have created the communication, methods with Baba Yaga. You've always had a way with your concoctions to make them function.
Flowerkraut rummages through her bag to see if she has any of these kind of like little bits of detritus that she's picked up along the way. Giant's eyeball, a little bit of frog goo.
Get that old jar of frog goo.
Yeah. Saps, anything that she has left over, and she starts adding it to the mixture.
You bubble, boil, toil, and trouble this thing into what feels like a very powerful mixture, a very powerful spell. You feel like it's ready.
And she instructed me to draw it down at the base of the wicker cage.
Essentially to pour a line of it around the base of the cage.
Okay. Flowerkraut circles the cage, slowly pouring the mixture around.
The mixture is in place.
All right, my dear. Now it is time for you to chant the spell, and you must continue. You must continue, and you must continue. This prison is very, very, very powerful, and it will fight you. It will push back. But you must continue.
I will.
Can we help her? Does she have to do this alone?
She does. As much as I know you want to help, Flowerkraut must do this herself.
Flowerkraut turns to Timothy and Thrigg and gives them a hug and says, "Thank you so much for your help. I'm strong enough knowing that you're right here with me." She holds each of their hands.
Thrigg be right here.
May Tabher Chun feel. May Tabher Chun feel.
Flowerkraut, you begin to chant. The spell's magic slowly grows from the concoction around the wicker dome. And sure enough, as Baba Yaga warned you, you feel the prison's resistance. Though each time you say, "May Tabher Chun feel," you push back against it. And the Enclave of Six pulsates with the ritual's progression. Each of the 6 massive trees sways heavily as if the earth was quaking beneath your feet. You then all hear the arcane energy building at the oak tree, the weeping willow tree, the evergreen tree. Magical energy backfires, and you hear whatever spells were being cast are suddenly nullified by the now glowing seals embedded into each of the trees. And a series of loud, echoing knocks are heard from those 3 trees, and then you hear the hags screaming and demanding entry. But they are doing it muffled from behind the purple force fields that are in place now. Their voices jumbled and incoherent, but you continue to fight against this prison. You continue to build up this energy, this freedom for Baba Yaga with every incantation that you say.
May Tabher Chun feel. May Tabher Chun feel.
The hags' voices suddenly go silent. Besides the sound of your chanting, the Enclave of Six goes completely quiet. And it is the next sound that you each hear that brings goosebumps, because it comes from the sky. The air pushes down with the flapping of enormous wings. The Jabberwock descends into the valley, into the Enclave of Six, and lands atop the wicker dome. It's time to break battle and roll initiative.
Is Flowerkraut still needing to chant? Does she need to let go of Timothy and Thrigg and continue chanting?
You want this spell to work, you have to keep chanting.
Flowerkraut looks at the two and releases their hands. And she keeps going. May Tabher Chung Feel.
All right. Initiatives.
21 for Thrigg.
So this is wild, because I think this will now make the sixth or so 21 that we have rolled, because I rolled a 17 and I get a +4 to initiative.
Nice.
So you're both at 21?
We are both a 21.
Your dex is going to be better than mine.
Timothy gets a +3.
Remington. Remington is a 22.
Nice.
Wow, Nathaniel, quick on his feet. Holy crap, Nathaniel is with you guys at 21.
Whoa.
Oh my god.
Flowerkraut, I would like you to roll initiative as well, even though kind of have your focus.
Yeah, she rolled a 7.
Is Brandy hopping out of the bag?
Brandy is getting in the mix.
Brandy, I choose you.
Wow, Brandy rolled a pathetic little 3, but yeah, she's like getting out of the bag.
You know you need to give me a heads up first. At least 10 to 15.
Flowerkraut smirks and continues chanting. May tap hair, chum feel.
Initiative starts with Remington at 22. Let's once again paint this picture. You guys are standing in the Enclave of 6, half of the pizza. The points where the pizza slices meet is where the wicker dome is. That is where Baba Yaga is, and the Jabberwock is standing on top of it. For positioning, I just want to know which angle you are standing at, and as well as your location. Basically, are you standing in, there's 6 slices, so you'd be like top, one starting at the top slice, that'd be one down, going down the pizza to the bottom is the 6th slice. So you kind of just can say, I'm going to stand here, and I'm going to stand either this close or this far away. So that is essentially what we need in order to theater of the mind what this battlefield looks like. Remington's up first, and you guys see he is terrified. Wait. We got the Maiden of the Moon. We can just give it to him. Timothy. And Remington will use use a cunning action to hide. He rolls a pretty good hide. He is stealthing at 24. He just kind of jumps into a bush. He'll go ahead and shoot his short bow at the Jabberwock with advantage because he is hiding. So here's the thing. As this is happening, you guys all know that you're wearing masks. As far as you are aware, the Jabberwock does not know where you guys are because it cannot see you, cannot sense you. However, wearing a mask does not seem to prevent it from hearing you or sensing you in other ways. It just cannot perceive you the normal way. Even though the Jabberwock has always seemed blind to you guys, its eyes seem blind, it knew exactly where Roan was when it was chasing him. I mean, as long as he wasn't hiding out of line of sight. So you watch Remington jump into a bush as he's like calling out to Timothy to give the Maiden of the Moon to this thing, and then he shoots his arrow and hits it. And let's see how much damage it does. It's a sneak attack because he was hidden. So he does 10 base damage plus sneak attack, which is only 5 more damage. He does 15 points of damage to this thing. He now has to roll a stealth check. Again, not an advantage because he's attacked from it, to see if he was able to attack the Jabberwock without the Jabberwock knowing where the attack came from. And he rolled a 15 on his stealth check. That is not enough. The Jabberwock literally looks directly at where Remington was. But it also keeps looking back over towards Timothy. And it keeps going. It is Timothy's turn.
I have had enough of this creature. Timothy's going to pull the maiden from his satchel and hold it up above him to judge its reaction to see if, knowing he can't be seen, but I have a strong feeling that the moon will be seen as soon as he takes it from his satchel.
You pull the Maiden of the Moon out from where it was. You reach up to the sky, and as the moonlight touches the Maiden of the Moon, roll 4d4 plus 4 healing.
Oh.
Ooh.
Okay. 12, 13, 14, that would be 15 total.
Okay. So, metagame-wise, the Maiden of the Moon, whoever is in possession of it, if the moonlight touches it at the beginning of your turn, it heals 4d4 plus 4 hit points.
Okay, and I'm assuming that would not heal what was sacrificed to the tree.
No, those are permanent.
Timothy will definitely clock that this thing does have power behind it. But now it's more that I want to judge the Jabberwock's reaction upon revealing the stone.
As it was narrowing its sight on Remington for having shot it, you pull the stone out, you raise it up, it immediately shoots its head over at you. It's looking directly at you. And it looks like its intent is to go after you for the stone.
In that case, Timothy's going to play some defense, and instead of attacking, he's going to play the Song of Feychild to give everybody bardic inspiration.
Timothy, this is the first time you've strummed this lute since Tierman handed it. I mean, since Tierman led you guys through the cave, and the first time that you have truly, pushed energy and magic through it, like you normally do. Your lute feels different to you. It feels powerful to you, and it feels like it kind of can get set to like cruise control. You strum like the Feychild song, and the lute starts kind of playing the song with you. And then it begins to hover, like it becomes light in your hands. Like you could let go of it and it would just float next to you.
What is this, Tierman?
The lute just begins to like kind of float around you as it's playing Feychild. And you feel all of this energy coming off of it, of your instrument of the bards. The lute is the brass tone lute, and it comes with a slew of spells that you can cast every single day using this thing. You are automatically attuned to it.
Whoa. I would like to imagine Timothy like almost lights up with this insane musical energy, and like he almost floats off the ground for a second as this lute's almost like lifting him up higher. And he is going to forego giving himself bardic inspiration, and instead he will give it to Flowerkraut. Might need it for some sort of arcana check, so let's give it to Flowerkraut, Thrig, and Remington.
Okay.
Tierman, you are still there. You're here. I can sense him.
With your lute attuned, you now have access to Barkskin, Cure Wounds, Fog Cloud, Invisibility, Levitate, Protection from Evil and Good, and the spell Fly.
Excuse you?
Wow. Oh, what?
What?
Oh my god, it's insane.
You are able to cast these spells once per day. Once you have cast any of those spells, you cannot cast the same spell again, but you could cast all 7 spells once in a single day before it recharges.
Oh my gosh, this is the coolest thing ever. Sorry, I'm looking at it. Like I don't believe the words, but I see it in the spells. Holy cow. All right. Unfortunately, I believe the song is an action. So I don't think he's going to be able to do any of these things yet.
All right. Any bonus actions?
I think Timothy is going to use movement and move as far away from the others as he can without obviously going over or getting super close to the edge. He just wants to lead this thing away from the center and away from Flowerkraut.
Okay. All right. So you start to head towards... Which tree would you say you're heading toward?
Let's see. I will head towards Baba Yaga's tree.
Okay. Sorry, heading for the redwood tree. We are at Thrig. You are up next.
So I'm going to say, because Flowerkraut just let go of my hand, that I'm still pretty close to the cage.
Yes.
Because I think that's exactly where I've been. And I look at Baba Yaga as I begin to rage and grow big and say,
You got any tips?
She looks at you, looks up and sees this creature, and she goes, Jabberwock? Ah, well, kill it, I guess.
You got a Vorpal sword in there?
And then I imbue my axe with thunder.
Okay.
And as I kind of retreat, I'm going to say I go towards that black ash tree, because that was one that was farther away from Timothy, right? I'm trying to spread out a little bit.
Yes.
Because he was going... Yeah, okay, cool, I remembered that right. I wing it at its head, hoping that the noise from thunder damage confuses it or something.
Okay.
That's my thing. So sharp goes at its head. I am going to roll a 26 to hit.
Wow.
That's going to hit it.
Yeah.
You don't need no Vorpal sword.
Oh, I'm gonna bet I do. And there'll be extra 2 to the damage for 12. So it is going to take, that is 9, 11 points of regular damage, and then I'm going to roll a d6 for thunder, and that is going to be 5 thunder damage on top.
Okay.
16 total damage.
Okay. You slam you throw your axe. It slams into it. You can see, damage done to this thing. It doesn't stop staring at Timothy. It's just been tracking him the whole time.
Okay.
And don't forget, Thrig, you can use the Bardic Inspiration for either to hit for damage. You can also use it for your AC.
All right. Well, the axe returns to my hand, and I'm just going to do the same thing again.
Okay.
Thrig's a simple creature.
But effective.
That's not as good. That's a dirty 20.
That still hits.
Okay. I roll a 5 6 for damage, plus, because I rolled a 1 on my d12. So that's 6, and that's 8 regular damage. And then the thunder damage is a 6.
Nice.
Made up for that 1 on the d12. And I'm going to use my movement, like I said, to head up towards the black ash tree, though I know he does not care about me, it seems like.
Okay. It's Nathaniel's turn. He walks over. He's over by you, Flowerkraut, and he just kind of gives you this look while you're chanting. And he's very, very much concern on his face. And he looks to Baba Yaga and he goes,
Yes, what Thrig said. Do you have a Vorpal sword or something in there or around here? We need one for this creature.
And then he looks up and the creature's just inching forward off of the wicker dome like it's going to start charging for where Timothy's at. And Nathaniel says,
Oh, run to the evergreen.
and he turns around and starts running back. And as he does that, he turns over his shoulder and he sends a ray of sickness at the creature.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Rolling up them sleeves, Nate.
Sick.
He hits amazingly.
Sick!
And it just falls off of the creature. Ray of sickness is poison damage. It does nothing to the Jabberwock.
Not sick.
And Nate keeps on he moves his 30 feet towards the evergreen tree, trying to spread out, doing the same thing you guys are doing. It is the Jabberwock's turn. It jumps off of the wicker dome and flies directly at you as the Maiden of the Moon. It lands pretty much right next to you, and it reaches out its claw to attack you. And it rolls a 15 to hit.
That is my armor class.
Okay.
Can I give him my bardic inspiration?
Yep, I was just thinking about that.
Timothy, you take 22 points of slashing.
Good thing you're holding the Maiden of the Moon.
It is going to attack you again. Whew. It rolled a 13 on this run.
Oh.
It definitely seems like it is focused on attacking you.
Why won't you just take the thing? Just take it. It's what you want, isn't it?
You hear Remington being like, "Just give it to him. Okay, get rid of it." It is Flowerkraut's turn.
All right. Flowerkraut does not let herself get distracted, and she continues chanting.
You continue to chant. You're fighting against this thing. You're winning. Nothing is going to stop you from freeing Baba Yaga. Baba Yaga hears Remington scream this out to you, Timothy, and you hear her like without being able to actually cast thaumaturgy, her voice comes in very loud, and she says, "No, don't give it to him, Timothy. You give that stone to the beast. This beast will plague the Feywild forever. You will make that beast unkillable. You speak of a Vorpal sword and a Vorpal soul. You fools! They're in your possession.
In our possession.
A Vorpal soul, one that emits vengeance above all else. The soul of a being that seeks revenge when confronted with that which has harmed those near and dear. That's you." And she points at Remington. "What are you talking about? We're just supposed to give the Maiden of the Moon over. Make it go away. It's gonna go back to sleep. Wait, no." I can hear the fear in your voice, Harengon. It betrays what I see. Your intentions, your true intentions, are to kill this beast. It is painted in your aura. You house a Vorpal soul. She then points at you, Timothy. A Vorpal blade! A weapon bathed in conflict and hatred. Timothy Biscuit, you carry endless strife upon your back. That is a Vorpal blade.
Sherman's sword? How's that possible?
It is Brandy's turn.
Okie dokie. Yeah, Brandy definitely remembers getting melted by this thing the last time she fought against it.
Are you kidding, Flowerkraut? Are you fucking kidding me? This thing again? Okie dokie.
She kind of like gives
Just shrugs.
like pissy face, but like scampers over. Okay, Brandy is going to run up to the Jabberwock. Is she able to get within 15 feet of it?
Yep, she can.
Do Brandy what do best.
Aaron, she's gonna do Neuron Nip.
Okay.
DC 13 intelligence saving throw.
Well, as things would be, the Jabberwock failed the save.
Oh my god.
Get wrecked.
However, it's going to burn a legendary resistance.
How dare.
And it succeeds.
Wow.
Boss fights.
Mm-hmm. We will not have a repeat of the worm incident.
We will not be the worm.
All right, anything else from Brandy?
I heard that should have worked. What the heck is wrong with this thing?
And that's it. She's just like angry because she felt like it should have had purchase, but feels this thing shake it off.
As Brandy's turn ends, the Jabberwock takes a legendary action.
Oh no.
It swipes its tail at Brandy.
Oh.
And it rolls a 27 to hit Brandy.
Oh, that's gonna hit.
It only does 7 damage, though.
Okay. She's still around.
Top of the round, it's Remington. Vorpal soul. The hell is she talking about?
Remington, it's never been simple. Nothing has been easy. Look inside yourself. There's something more there.
This goddamn thing needs to die. Remington breaks into a sprint, and he runs for you, Timothy. He Harangon hops past the Jabberwock as it's, bearing down on you, and he grabs Sherman's sword. You watch as the sword changes shape, and it just turns red. It becomes sleek, curved, still has the hilt and everything. You can almost hear the swirling conflict echoing from the blade itself. And when you meet eyes with Remington, his eyes have gone completely red as well.
This creature must die.
And he's going to attack it with the sword. He is unseen right now to it. And my bad, Thrig, because you are not visible to the... I should have had you roll a stealth check first. But basically, you roll a stealth check if it doesn't know... If it can't hear you moving, if it can't sense where around you it is, you would have advantage on your attacks because you're essentially hidden.
Oh, okay.
So Remington did roll enough stealth, so he is rolling with advantage. He does hit, and he is going to deal some damage. Now, as the sword cuts into the Jabberwock, the cut that Remington leaves behind is like this bright white glow. You have seen the Jabberwock brush off attacks. The arrow that Remington shot at earlier has already been spat out of this thing's skin. The thunder damage that left a blemish on the thing has faded away. Meta-wise, you guys know that this thing is regenerating health. But the cut that Remington just made at the belly of the beast is bright white and does not appear to be closing up at all. The Jabberwock bellows in pain. It is Timothy's turn.
He's gonna lose himself to that sword. One thing leads to another. Aaron, question for you with this loot. Is it using my spell slots?
It has 7 spell slots, 1 for each of those spells.
Okay. But I need to buy him time. Chairman, if you're really there, I could use all the help I could get.
The very beginning of your turn, if you have the Maiden of the Moon out, I want you to heal 4d4 plus 4.
Oh, thank goodness. I was worried it was only the first time that it touched the moon.
Again, meta-wise, anyone who's holding the Maiden of the Moon and the moon beam can touch it, it heals you every turn.
6, 7, 8, 9. So that's 13 back to me. Every bit counts. I think, as Timothy calls out, thinking about Tierman, he feels this aura of protection around him emanating from the loot, and he is going to cast from the brass tone. He is going to cast protection from evil and good upon himself.
Okay.
So this, until the spell ends, one willing creature. The protection grants several benefits. Creature of those types have disadvantage. That includes aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead. I'm hoping that this thing is in the fae category.
All right. Anything else? Are you standing your ground?
Timothy is going to stand his ground and try and play keep away from this thing.
At the end of your turn, the Jabberwock is going to use legendary action. If it can perceive where Remington is, which I'm going to have Remington... I forgot to have Remington roll a stealth check after he slashed it. And he did not roll high enough to... I'm using the passive perception of the Jabberwock. So basically, every time you hit it and it is not focused on you, you have to roll past its passive perception if you don't want it to be able to attack you, as well. So it takes a swing. It's going to use its rend attack. It's going to slash at Remington.
Remington does have bardic inspiration. Should you wish to use it?
It does. Yeah, he can add that to his AC.
Yes.
What die is Aaron rolling for that?
It's the D6 bardic inspiration right now.
That is correct.
Okay. All right, he's going to add this to his... Because the Jabberwock has hit. Jabberwock still hits him. However, Remington has a cool new ability that he just got called Uncanny Dodge.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Which allows him as a reaction to halve the damage he's about to take, which is good because he's about to take 25 points of damage. He's going to have that down to 12. So, Timothy, you run back towards the tree, and the Jabberwock is still roaring in pain from this bright white slash that Remington had just cut into him with Sherman's sword. And you see that, like, Remington's kind of feral, almost. Not like bubbling at the mouth, but he's taken a stance that's very different than his normal. Images of Sherman pop back into your head of when he was fighting Magadam.
Oh.
And the Jabberwock just looks down, and Claw comes flying across. Remington jumps backwards, kind of doing a backflip, and it grazes him. However, it clips Remington right in the face, and his mask shatters off of his face. You guys see Remington's face for the first time. His eyes are red. His brow is furrowed. His teeth are gritting. And he has this claw mark across it, and he just kind of lands back, puts himself back in a position to attack again. It is Thrig's turn.
I'm going to charge at the Jabberwock, and as I do, I'm going to yell at Remington.
Keep your focus. Keep your head.
And I'm going to slide up to the Jabberwock and try to hit it exactly where he hit it on that big white mark that you said is not closing.
Okay.
And as Thrig reaches back with his axe, you see that the element, it stops having whatever thunder would look like. You know, lightning thunder crackling off of it, and it changes to acid.
Oh, okay. All right.
As he tries to bury it into the same wound. Did you want me to roll stealth before or after? I forgot to ask.
I need you to roll stealth after the attack.
Okay.
Because it doesn't know that you're coming. You just yelled at Remington.
I did.
So yes, I need you to roll stealth.
Okay. I roll at disadvantage, by the way. Oh, but that's fantastic. That is... Let's see... Oh, gosh, what is my stealth? It is a +2. So, my worst roll is a 16.
Okay, so you do not get advantage on this attack, because it knows essentially kind of where you're at.
But you still have Bardic Inspiration.
Oh, yeah, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and use that on the 16.
Okay, roll it.
Okay, why not? And that is a 5.
Okay.
So it gives me a 21.
You're going to have advantage on this attack.
All right. Thank you, Janelle.
Oh, you're welcome.
Okay, so I can get... This is my first attack. Does a nat 20 hit?
Yes.
Janelle, thank you, because I rolled... My white dice would have been a 12 on the dice. But the other dice that I rolled was a 20. Okay, so...
Hell yeah!
So I need to remember, I get savage attacks, which I believe is... I just roll one of my damage twice, dice again.
Yeah, so you're just rolling all the dice. You're doubling the dice and adding the modifier once. So you're going to roll 2d12s.
Yep.
And 2d6s, I believe, right?
I'm just telling you right now, I'm going to use my giant strike.
Okay.
My storm strike as well, because I might as well. But I can only do that once. So where is the d12? 2d12 and 2d6s. So that isn't bad. 8 plus 7, 15, 18, 24. And then to use my storm strike, which is another d6.
The 24, break that down for me.
It is going to be, the acid damage is 9 of that damage.
Okay. You realize that the acid damage does nothing to it.
But acid and poison are different.
They are.
Oh, shit. Okay.
So you dealt 15?
So I would have dealt 15. Okay. And then I'll roll a d6 for lightning damage. That's a 6 on the lightning damage. That's my only storm strike that I've got. Oh, I need it needs to roll a Constitution saving throw from the Storm Strike.
From the Storm Strike.
Mm-hmm.
If it's okay, got it.
It would have disadvantage on attack rolls until the start of my next turn if it failed. It's a DC 15, just to keep it moving.
Got it. Rolled an 18.
Damn it. Well, it's on a 15, so it has to hit 15, or else everything else is a fail.
That's right. It's a 5% chance of success.
Yes.
All right.
I thought the acid thing was cool. Damn it.
It was cool.
It was very cool until it wasn't. Second attack?
Oh my god, that's right. I get to attack it again. That was because that was an advantage.
Yeah.
So
this one won't be with advantage.
Yeah, and I won't even bother with the D6 on the acid if I hit. That's a 19 on the dice. So
that hits. Yep.
Unless you needed me to roll the acid because it was doing something else that you're not saying behind the screen. Okay.
Nope.
Right.
Any acid damage is nullified.
Okay. Yeah. So. Boo. I rolled a 1 again on the D12. That D12's going away, so that's 6 points of damage.
Anything else? I think that was move.
That's move, bonus action. Yeah, I've done everything that I can possibly do.
Nice. Okay. And you are, so it is aware of your presence. If you were making ranged attacks against this thing, I would have you roll a stealth check after the attack as well, because then it would be basically like, he doesn't know where the attack came from kind of thing.
Okay.
But you are in its face, or you're right next to it, so it knows you're there.
Yeah.
It is Nathaniel's turn. He is going to... Man, he wants to help so bad. He sees that you've drawn the Jabberwock away from Flowerkraut and the dome, so he runs back to where Flowerkraut is. He is going to basically just stay there. You know what? He flings a Toll the Dead at the Jabberwock. That is what he is doing. So a bell rings. He, the Jabberwock now has to make a Wisdom saving throw against his 15. And the Jabberwock rolled... Wow, Jabberwock's not that great. Okay, so Jabberwock's Wisdom defense, not great. He hits the Jabberwock with it. He does 2d12 damage because it has taken damage already. So that's not too shabby. Wow, 12 on one of the 12s and a 4 on the other one. 16 points of necrotic damage to the Jabberwock. And you guys, I always share the metadata with you guys. Necrotic damage does not have an immunity or resistance here. So
Nice.
it is the Jabberwock's turn. Its eyes begin to glow, and it fires a decomposing beam at you, Timothy. I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
I'm good at these. At least I should be, in theory. Not this time. That's a 9.
Okay.
Does protection from evil and good do anything for me in this moment?
That's a good question. Let's look at that spell, because I'm pretty sure it just rolls disadvantage. However, this is not a direct attack kind of spell like that.
Yeah, this is like the gray area.
Mm-hmm.
Just says disadvantage on attack rolls against the target.
Yeah. So it just straight up fires this beam. You fail the dex check. You know what? This is going to make it easier. I'm going to do it in D&D Beyond.
It's that many dice, huh?
That means it's a lot of dice.
Yeah. It's every teardrop is a waterfall.
You take 27 points of acid damage. It is better than it could have been. The tree behind you, Baba Yaga's redwood tree,
This is what I was worried about.
has a massive hole in it. It's like it's beginning to decay immediately behind you.
Oh, shoot.
Flowerkraut, you hear Baba Yaga go, "No! No! Get away from my tree!" The Jabberwock is not going to move because it wants to... basically, the entire way, its entire turn was it powering up its gaze and then blasting this thing at you. So that is its turn. It is Flowerkraut's turn.
Flowerkraut is trying so hard to get through this spell, but she's starting to get worried because she's only hearing like just chaos all around her. And so she uses thaumaturgy to just bellow out this incantation.
That is awesome. So here's the thing: as you're chanting this phrase over and over again, you're fighting against the resisting spell. You start to piece this together, Flowercrow. You realize that the oak tree, the evergreen tree, the weeping willow, the black ash, the mangrove tree, all 5 of those trees are kind of like what is locked Baba Yaga in place. The one tree that's not is the redwood. And it just got hit by this gaze. And you feel like that tree might have been the one thing that was allowing you to stay ahead of the game, to continue winning. It just took this hit, and the spell starts pushing back harder than before. But you flip the switch, use thaumaturgy, and you bring yourself right back. I was going to have you make a roll on this, but with the thaumaturgy thing, I think that's awesome. You basically just got louder, and you're pushing back against all of these things. Basically, you stepped in for Baba Yaga's tree. You don't care that it's hurt. You're still fighting it.
This is like the true like origin of thaumaturgy, just like with Gandalf and everything, just using the booming voice like to empower her.
Yes.
Because she feels that push back against her, and she hears all the chaos around her, and she is just bellowing as loud as she can, and you can almost hear just like duplicates of her voice ring out.
I love that. I love that imagery. It's just like, it's like bouncing off of the entire valley that you're in. Brandy is up, technically. Pretty hurt, but still alive.
Okay, I think she needs to try an attempt to recharge.
Yep.
I got 6.
Okay, they're on Nip's back.
All right, she's going to try once again. DC 13 intelligence.
All right. I actually rolled high enough. I rolled a 15.
And she's so furious. She's just like hissing and spitting, and she is like scampering towards it. She's like gonna try and go for the tail, even though she doesn't have an attack. She just wants to pounce on that tail.
So she's gonna try and go in and do a little bit of tentacle attacks next time.
Yeah.
All right. At the end of Brandy's turn, the Jabberwock makes a legendary action. It does a rending attack at Thrigg.
Okay.
And it rolled a dirty 20 to hit.
Yeah, that does it.
All right, Thrigg, you take 25 points of slashing damage.
Okay. I get to cut that down because I'm raging.
Correct.
So
yep.
I'm not the worst person to take that hit.
That is the legendary action. We're back at the top of the round with Remington. It's very much aware that he's there. He does not have an opportunity to hide, and his mask is gone. It can see him. It can straight up see Remington. So he is going to make a normal attack. He is going in with the Vorpal Blade again. Remington rolled an 8 on the die, plus 7 is a 15. That's not enough. He misses the Jabberwock. He looks up at you, Thrigg. You just told him to keep his head. He goes, "Don't you worry, I'm still here." And he uses his cunning action to disengage. And he moves over to the next tree over, which technically is the Weeping Willow, but he's not going to stand like within the drip zone.
Yes.
I worked it in.
Yeah, I'm so happy.
Oh.
Sneaks and vapes for everybody.
Suddenly, Remington's over there putting on sneakers, and he's got a vape in his mouth.
Oh my god, we need to explain that in the Song of Rest.
Yes. Now, let me give you guys some meta information. Remington, using the Vorpal Blade on the Jabberwock, nullifies the Jabberwock's ability to regenerate health. This last turn that the Jabberwock took, when it used its decomposing gaze, it did not heal back any hit points that it had lost during the last round because of that. However, Remington just missed. So that means that the next time the Jabberwock's up, it will heal. He has to continually hit it for it to stop regenerating. You don't know how many hit points it's regenerating. You just know that some of the damage that you've done to it is not there anymore.
Okay.
It is Timothy's turn.
I think in this moment, the world's kind of slowed down a little bit for Timothy, and he's panicked. He's looking around. He sees Thrigg getting hurt. He sees Flowerkraut suffering, trying to compensate for a horrible mistake he's just made. He looks to the tree. He looks at the blood that he's covered in after that last attack. God damn it. I keep making things worse. What am I missing? And he looks over at Remington, and his face now exposed, his eyes red, fearing for a fate similar to Sherman's. He looks down at his loot with tears in his eyes, and he's like, "What? Tierman, what am I missing?" And then he remembers the Vorpal blade, and he remembers Tierman didn't just give him a lute, he gave him a song. Is that it? Can that fix things? And he's going to move away from the tree and play that song that Tierman gave him.
Timothy, you move away from the tree and you step into the moonlight once again. The Maiden of the Moon heals you again for 44 plus 4.
Please do. I'm at 5 HP. 14, 15, 16, 17. I rolled all 4s except for 1, so okay.
And with the lute, you begin to play the Vorpal lullaby. Jabberwock reacts to this, and it's as if you match the vibrations that the Maiden of the Moon is giving off, to where the Jabberwock seems somewhat confused. It shakes its head. It's looking around. It doesn't seem like it's completely abated any of its rage, but it doesn't seem to know what to go after, where the Maiden of the Moon is at the moment. It's getting mixed signals between your song and the reverberations from the stone itself.
Dear man, thank you. Thank you for everything.
Do you have any bonus actions or additional movement you want to take?
In terms of movement, I think I am going to try and move over to where Remington is, because I need to be within 60 feet of him in order to do something to ensure or at least partially ensure that he might be able to hit on his next attack.
Okay. As you play the Vorpal lullaby, you start to learn this new thing about the brass stone lute. Once you start the song, the lute keeps playing it. So in subsequent turns, you can continue to play a song as a bonus action.
Whoa.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and the lute can literally float next to you and continue playing the song.
Every mistake is a lesson. I will continue to learn. Thank you.
At the end of your turn, another legendary action from the Jabberwock. Its last point for this turn. It is going to use a tail attack on the only target that is near it, and that is Thrigg.
Okay.
Or Brandy.
Oh, you're right. Let me roll between the two. That's right, because Brandy's all up in its butt, basically going after its tail.
Yeah.
So Thrigg, odd or even?
Do odd.
Okay.
Thrigg odd.
Looks like it's going to hit Thrigg.
Yeah.
Thrigg odd. 21 to hit Thrigg.
Yep.
And tail attack is not nearly as bad as the claws. It does 14 points of bludgeoning damage, down to 7 from your rage. It is now Thrigg's turn.
So Thrigg, the axe hits it. Acid just does nothing. It just flies off into nothing. And he goes,
That doesn't work.
and he raises it back again, and you see the weapon get covered in frost. And he says,
Let's see if I can keep it from closing.
and he slams the weapon back into the wound.
Okay. Give me an attack.
That is an 18 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. So that is That's 11 points of martial damage.
Okay.
And then the cold damage would be an additional 5.
All right, the cold damage works. It takes the damage.
Okay. And then I'll roll my second attack, because there ain't got nothing else to do. I crit again.
Yay!
Oh.
Okay, so savage attacks, so 2d12 and 2d6s. Again, not you. Okay, so the martial damage is... Oh my gosh, I can't see this dice in the dark. Again, okay, there's another 1 on the d6. So that is... I had my modifier once, right?
Yep.
Correct, I'll add my modifier to this one. So that's 8, so 16 martial damage. And then the cold damage... Oh my gosh, this is a 6 and a 5. So 11 cold.
All right. You slam into this thing. You don't seem to be keeping it from regenerating, though, but it hurts. This thing is bellowing out, and it starts to realize that you're a bigger threat to it than going out. Than it didn't. It's prioritizing you over the Maiden of the Moon, which is saying something.
Okay.
When this thing's sole objective is to get the Maiden of the Moon.
Horrifying.
Nathaniel is up. Nathaniel is going to toll the dead again, see if that, because that worked last time. It fails the check. Its wisdom's not great. So 2d12 necrotic damage. It takes another 16 points of necrotic damage. He is going to just kind of stay there next to Flowerkraut as you're chanting the spell. At the end of Nathaniel's turn, it is going to use a legendary action to buff. It's like basically to... You know what? Actually, no, because it actually is its turn, so it's going to have to use a legendary action some other time.
It doesn't, actually. It doesn't have to use it some other time.
It's seemingly confused because of the song that Timothy is singing to it right now. And while it has seemed to be very focused on attacking before, it doesn't seem like it has that focus anymore. It recharges its I-beam.
I wish it didn't.
And it just like looks up into the sky, and then it brings it down in a random cut. So it's not even focusing on any one person, but it is potentially in the area that Remington, Timothy, and Thrigg are all in. So I need all of you to roll a luck die, because this isn't a dex check. It's to see if this thing passes through your area.
Okay.
No, it's a d6.
3.
I rolled a 4.
Okay. Let me see what Remington ran. Remington is also at a 4. It doesn't actually cut through any of you guys' areas.
Whew.
It just cuts into Aster's tree.
Good.
Fuck her.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That tree begins to just crumble as the base of the tree just evaporates and begins to rot away instantly. It does regenerate health as you watch the last cuts that you just made on it, Thrigg, begin to seal up.
Retried.
It is Flowerkraut's turn.
Is Flowerkraut feeling a little bit of the burden lessening?
Yes.
Once Aster's tree gets cut down?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. She keeps chanting, still as loud as she can.
You're winning. You're almost done. You're almost broken Baba Yaga out. Brandy's up.
All right, yeah. Brandy's still just like in a fit of rage, and she is just gonna go for the tail. She's gonna do a tentacle attack on it.
I love this. She's gonna spank it till it dies.
That's what she's aiming for, yeah. She scrambles up onto its butt.
I love the imagery of Brandy's tentacle shape-shifting into a big paddle. Just coming down.
Gonna give the Jabberwock a jabber whack.
Yeah, it's like a pretty weak attack, but she's just in a fit of rage. She just wants to do something.
It all counts.
Yeah, so Aaron, does a 3 hit?
Yeah, I can't quite reach the butt, so it just paddles air.
It's a very lazy cat swipe.
Yeah, the tail's just swinging back and forth, and Brandy's like barely hanging on. She like tries to make a paddle, but she slips from its butt. Like,
hold still.
It uses a legendary action where it basically brings its wings up, and in its frustration, in its inability to focus or to look to where the Maiden of the Moon is, it slams its wings down in all directions around it. Make a dexterity saving throw, Thrig and Brandy.
I get to do this at advantage at least.
yeah, Brandy rolled a 7.
Okay.
Third rolled a 16.
All right. Both of you get shot backwards, and you both take 10 points of bludgeoning damage. You would take 5, Thrig.
Brandy poofs out of existence. Just boom, boom.
Brandy poofs. You get sent like 20 feet away from this thing, and you land prone.
I'm prone? Okay.
That was its legendary action. It is now Remington. Don't you worry, Timothy. I'm right here, man. I'm right here, but I know one thing's true right now. Thanks to Baba Yaga, whatever her name is. She saw right through me, man. I've been afraid. I've been scared. I just want to protect everyone, but make this thing go away. And the best way to make this thing go away is to kill it. And he runs for the Jabberwock. He is going to take a cunning action to basically hide as he approaches it, or to be silent. He rolls a 20 on stealth, which is enough that the Jabberwock does not know from which direction he is coming from. And Remington just crit.
Yes.
Oh, oh boy. Okay. So the sword's damage. Let's just get that out of the way. So he's going to do 14 points of physical damage with the sword itself. The sneak attack is going to double as well. So 14 plus another 15 plus another 16.
Damn.
Because he rolls 3d6 for sneak attack. That's 45 damage?
Yep.
Aaron, do you have to ask yourself, how would you like to kill this thing?
Oh, man. I didn't expect him to crit like this. Okay. Remington runs, and he jumps at the neck of this thing, and you just see... You see the Vorpal sword. You see Sherman's sword cut into the neck, and then he just begins to run alongside the beast. The Vorpal sword is cutting open the Jabberwock as if it was a hot knife through butter. There is almost no effort, as a white streaking wound is left in its wake. He runs like a full crescent along the back of the beast, and then just lands behind it as the Jabberwock wobbles. And collapses to the ground. A steam, hot corrosion begins to pour out of the beast. The ground beneath its body begins to sprout mushrooms and decay immediately as its body begins to evaporate and pieces of it float into the sky. And Remington drops to his knees. He throws the sword. You're free, Enlay. It's over. Jasper. That was for you. Alwyn.
Timothy immediately goes to Remington, and he holds him close as he'll allow. You did it. You did it, Remington.
It ain't gonna hurt no one.
No. Never again.
He just weeps into your arms. and you see the red fades from his eyes. And that's where we will end our episode.
Wins with you, BB Army. This is Chad, aka the voice of Timothy Biscuit, wanting to thank you for joining us on today's episode of Break, Battle, and Roll. We hope you're enjoying our adventure as much as we are in creating it. If you're looking for more ways to connect with Break, Battle, and Roll, you can follow our Instagram and Twitter, both at Break, Battle, Roll, or you can stop by and give us a like on our Break, Battle, and Roll Facebook page. Additionally, you can check out our website at www.breakbattleroll.com. It's there you can also find a link to our Discord server where you can chat or game with us and other members of the BB Army. You can find that invite link on the top banner of that page. And if you want to follow the cast on social media, you can find me on my Instagram and Twitter, both at It's Chit Chad, that's at ITSCHITCHAD, as well as my YouTube channels, Chit Chad Show and Chit Chad Plays. You can follow Janelle, aka Flowerkraut, on her Instagram at Janelle.Wilke. That's at JANELLE.WILKE. Dustin, aka Sherman Jeopard, aka The Goodest Boy, can be found on his Instagram at the_final_destination. That's DUSTINATION. Ben, aka Me Thrig, aka one of our musical composers, can be found on his Instagram at slam_handwich. That's HANDWICH. You can also find his other musical works under Ben Holland on his Spotify artist page. Finally, you can find Aaron, aka the Game Master, aka the Barkeep of the Story Arc, on his Instagram at Arkuma. That's at AARKUMA. Additionally, this podcast would never operate the same without our amazing supporting crew, and we would love to give them a shout out. Starting with Rory O'Neill for being our other musical composer and providing many of our custom musical accompaniments. My amazing, wonderful wife, Allie Stafford, for managing our social media platforms. And Laura Rollins for providing additional audio editing support. And now that you're part of the BB Army, please help spread the word. If you got a friend that's into Dungeons and Dragons or tabletop RPGs or just narrative podcasts, please send them our way. We would really appreciate it. Also, if you or your friends are listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, leave us a review. It's one of the best ways you can support this show. We would love to hear what you think. And once again, we just want to thank you from the bottom of our hearts for listening to our show. We genuinely appreciate it. But now it is time for me to go. I think I hear a certain Kenku bard getting ready to play his next set, so I better get myself a drink and find a seat. Winds be with you, travelers, until our next adventure.